It appears new Badger football coach luke-fickell is piecing together an experienced coaching staff and now may have the man to run his offense. ESPN's Bruce Feldman reporting that North Carolina offensive coordinator Phil Longo will take on the same role for the Badgers. Longo had high-powered offenses with the Tar Heels and helped develop star quarterbacks Drake May and Sam Howell. The Tar Heels were among the top offenses in college football this year. Meanwhile, it is the end of an era for the Badger defense as Jim Leonhard announced on Twitter last night he'll be leaving the program after the bowl game.
Our Andrew Banstra found that while the Badgers' walk-on turned 10-year NFL veteran leaves a legacy in Madison, fans are still looking forward.
Initially, my hopes were up because they said he would be staying, and then yesterday we found out he's not.
If Badger fans bleed red, it's because Jim Leonhard has their heart. He always has. His departure from the program leaves an open wound that marks the end of an era.
For a program built on continuity and stability, it's been a pretty chaotic 2 months.
As sports columnist Jim Polzin says, Wisconsin football is a fortress of culture and tradition. But the ground Camp Randall sits on has become unstable.
And now Paul Chryst was out on October 2nd. Jim Leonhard's out now. It's a brand new era.
And while fans are devastated to see Jim Leonhard go, you got to admit, the future, it seems bright.
A little disappointing since he's been here for so long, about 7 years now. But the future's bright, I think, with luke-fickell.
Leonhard embodies his home state and Wisconsin football. Against all odds, keep moving forward.
He's an undersized 5'9" defensive back / punt returner who came here without a promise of a scholarship. And by his sophomore year, he was an All-American and a 3-time All-American. Left a legacy here, went to the NFL. Undrafted, nobody thought he'd stick around. Boom, he has a 10-year career.
He joined the Badgers coaching staff in 2016. Within a year, he was revered as one of the nation's top defensive minds. But he stayed home at Wisconsin. Leonhard may have his pick of NFL and college jobs, but for Badger fans turning the page to a new era, never say never.
There's time for him to return if that's the way it ends up. So while this feels very much like an end of an era, I think the way I'd refer to it as a pause in an era, because it would not shock me if Jim Leonhard ends up back in Madison at some point.
In Madison, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Well, change can be challenging, especially for a fan base rooted in stability. Badger fans say they will support whatever Leonhard's future holds, turning the page to the next chapter of Wisconsin football.